All right, so for the past few days, I've been putting two devices against each other, the Lenovo Legion Go S with SteamOS, the Z1 Extreme chip, 32 gigs of RAM. I love that device. It's got a nice big 8-inch display. The other device, of course, is the Xbox ROG Ally X, the new one that came out. That one actually costs a little bit more, but it has the newer Z2 Extreme chip, only 24 gigs of RAM, but that still should still be enough. It has a 7-inch display. And so what I really want to do is over the next few days, perhaps weeks, is put them up against each other and see which one comes out on top. Main things I'm looking for is, when you're using the device and you put it to sleep, can you walk away for a few hours and come back and just jump back in it? That's something that's super important for a handheld, in my opinion, for mobile on-the-go gaming. As far as other day-to-day things, how does it feel in the hand? Is it comfortable? Does it sound good? Does it look good? So all of those things. So I've designed a bit of a Gauntlet challenge. We're going to do a little bit of a mini series so I can give you guys kind of my take day-to-day as it evolves and see what pops up. And so for today, the first test, part 1, is going to be benchmarks. I think that's a really good place to start so we can do an apples to apples comparison between each one with minimal variables. 3 games are going to be put to the test on each device. I shot them all at as close to similar settings as I could, and you have to take into account that one has that 8-inch display and one has a 7-inch display, so I did keep them at their native resolutions as much as possible. I don't want to use a device in the way that I wouldn't anyways, so I kept all graphics setting the same, but I really wanted to let each device shine on its own display the way it's meant to. And so you could take a look at these benchmarks coming up here, and then we'll jump back in a little bit, wrap it all up, and see what's next on that Gauntlet challenge. So we got back from the benchmarks. Super interesting. I think I wanted to start with those 3 games because I think one is easy to run, one is pretty hard to run, and one is kind of smack dab in the middle. And so the results were super interesting to me. Seeing Wukong come in at 6 frames per second better on the Xbox ROG Ally X was really nice, because I think 6 frames per second could be a huge difference in a game like that. That's a beautiful game where quick movements, quick reaction times make a major difference. And so 5-6 frames per second really could make that difference between the game feeling a little laggy, a little weird, not super nice, to having it feel a little bit more buttery smooth and have it feel like a good experience. The main thing is you don't want to be pulled out of the game. You don't want to think about the hardware. Oh man, it lagged. Oh, this is not fast enough. If you don't think about that while you're playing, and you play for an hour or two and then you kind of get lost and come back, that is what you want. That's what you're aiming for. 6 frames per second could make a huge difference on that. It's still early days with the Z2E chip, so performance could even get better going forward. The next one we ran is Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I played that game originally on my Steam Deck OLED, and it ran very well. I mean, it wasn't the highest frames per second count on there, but I never once felt like I shouldn't be playing it on the Steam Deck. So I had a really good time with it. I enjoyed the story, never slowed down too much, never crashed, nothing weird. So I expected both of these devices to come in with a great performance, and they did. What I didn't expect was to see 13 frames per second better on the Xbox ROG Ally X. That's a huge difference. And so seeing a game, that was kind of my middle tier one. I really thought something from Rockstar that's well optimized, that ran well on the Steam Deck. I didn't think we'd see a huge gap between both of these devices. But 13 frames per second is no joke. So either that's going to help you push it up to the next level on the new device, or you can cap it at a lower TDP and save battery. Either way, more power, more juice on this new chip really is making a big difference for Red Dead Redemption 2. And last but definitely not least was the Tomb Raider game. I think it's Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was a great challenge because that's a little bit of an older game that's known to run well on so many devices. So another really well optimized game. I did not expect to see such a small difference between these devices. I actually thought we'd see the biggest difference on this, just because I thought that game has been around so long that maybe the hardware itself would really be pushing a lot more frames per second on the new device. But only a 2 frames per second difference, you could almost consider that within the margin of error. And that was the first test I did, and I really thought, man, this new device with the Z2E chip is not going to be much of an improvement. But then going into the next 2 tests, I was honestly very surprised. Now, something to keep in mind is that the Z2E chip is brand new. I mean, it's been out a couple months, maybe. It's just really getting out there. And so the Z1E chip was not as good as it is now when it came out. It took months, lots of updates, driver updates, and it got consistently more powerful and better at games. I expect the same thing to happen with the Z2E chip. So seeing it perform this way so early on is actually a really positive thing. I think people are saying, oh, it's not that good, it's not a big difference. Well, we really haven't seen it as full potential yet. And depending on what game you're running, even today, it can be a pretty big difference. And so is it worth paying another $300, $400, $500? Honestly, depends what kind of games you play. It depends on how often you play. If you're on your handheld gaming 4 or 5 hours a day, every day, then I think you should probably get the best device you can, because you're really spending so much time on it. Now for me, the handheld is going to be more of a secondary device when I'm traveling, when I'm going on planes. That's when I'll probably use it the most. And so it's not super important to have the most powerful device, but if this were my main gaming platform, I probably would go for the strongest, most powerful device I can, because I want to invest in my hobby and what I do and have the best. I guess it's just the way I am. But still, given these benchmarks, getting a device with the Z1E chip is not a bad choice at all. I see a lot of people in the comment section talking about this costs $1,000. I can get another device for around half the price. Definitely do that. Don't let anyone stop you. You're going to have a great time. Depends what games you want to play. It depends, do you want to be on the cutting edge? All those things should be taken into consideration. So benchmark test here, part 1 of our gauntlet. That might be 4 or 5 parts depending on how things go. The next one should be hardware. I just want to dive in a little bit deeper, literally dissect every single button. How does it feel in the hand? Are there any creaks? What is the screen really like day to day between these 2 devices? Super important to me. I think it's the best of what the Steam OS has to offer out of the box, and the best of what a Windows device has to offer out of the box. So stay with me. This is a small channel. We're just growing. I'm just getting used to this whole YouTube thing. And just being honest with you, I would appreciate a subscription. I mean, we're really early on, so trying to get up there really helps get the word out there. Main thing for me is starting discourse, having conversations. I love the comments. I try to reply as many as possible. And so go down there, tell people what you think. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you want to see. It's the most fun part to me. So I appreciate you for stopping by, and see you next time.